Hello, good to know that you are keeping safe. Welcome to Desopadec Weekly, a TV program that highlights the activities of Delta State's Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, Desopadec. Today, we are looking at the mutual relationship between Desopadec and the contractors in meeting the demands of Delta State's #1 interventionist agency, Desopadec. Welcome on board. It promises to be an interesting edition. Joy Ucheyi is my name.
The purpose of an oil producing commission is for the people of the oil producing area. My message to the oil producing community is that any project that is done in their area, they should see it as their personal project. They should see it as community project. They should defend the project the way they defend their king. That is my message to the people of the oil producing community.
The Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission has maintained a robust relationship with its engaged stakeholders, staff, consultants, and contractors alike. The Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Desopadec, Honorable Nani, said this present board of the Commission is not indebted to any of its engaged stakeholders. This is coming on the backdrop of the impression in some quarters that Desopadec owes its contractors huge amounts.
This present board is not owing anybody. That's why we chose to think that we are going to do projects for which the allocation, the money available can demand. But before we came, there are plethora of contracts which were awarded haphazardly, and contractors have completed it. We can only say, okay, new contracts, new projects that will be done will be 60%. Old contracts that have been completed before, we set aside 40% to be servicing the debts.
In a special interview with the Desopadec Weekly TV, Chief Nani said the board, under the management of Bashiru Askia Oge, has made much efforts to exonerate the Commission of indebtedness to contractors. He said the Commission has proved very proactive in the management of resources and noted with satisfaction that all engaging stakeholders are happy with the Desopadec.
So and we also spread it among the contractors. If you are being owed 10 million today, you don't expect that if each ethnic nationality, because what applies in Desopadec is that all monies are for ethnic nationalities. And we will not want a situation where if, say, 10 million goes to this ethnic nationality for payment, we will not say, okay, nepotism, this is my brother, this is my friend. Therefore, let us pay the 10 million. We bring a spreadsheet of those who being owed. Okay, this one is being owed 10 million, this one is being owed 5 million, this one is being owed. Okay. Now, let us pay the man being owed 10 million, 3 million. The man being owed 5 million, let us pay him 2 million. So we allocate the money like that so that every person that is being owed gets a little of it. So any complaint you hear today, you ask them, have you been paid since this board has been in place? Yes. The people have been paid, but they will want their money en bloc. You know the money is not there en bloc. As at the time they did the project, it was awarding the project and job haphazardly. Until we came in to streamline it, that yes, we can only award project in accordance with the provision of the budget. As it is budget for the estimated money revenue that will be gotten, we always prioritize to see to it that yes, these projects are key projects which can also be within the provision of the money expected.
The Executive Director, while giving credence to the new vision of the interventionist agency to promote financial transparency, said the board is poised towards completing all projects that will be awarded.
Yes, fiscal responsibility is one of the key. The MD, Bashiru Askia Oge, is an accountant, And what it does is making sure that this is the project. The engineers will go to the field, then the management will sit over any BOQ or the BEME that will be submitted to them to see that, yes, this is the market survey. We go for market survey to see to it that, yes, this is the only thing we can do as a markup. It is provided for by law. This is what can be added as a markup. The civil servant, the engineers are not left alone to throw up just any amount as a BOQ or the BEME. We make sure that we compare it with the current market value for that particular project. We can only put the legal markup for it. So it's not as it were before when you just come, oh, this project is going to be done. We need a consultant. Why would we be looking for consultant when we have the professionals there? So what we reduce the issue of using consultants and now resorted to using the professionals we have within the commission. And when they come up with any BOQ or BEME, this is the amount, this is the costing, we go into it, check it one by one whether it tallies with the present value for that particular project.
According to Honorable John Nani, the management has brought on board new strategies that had helped to eliminate unnecessary bureaucracy among staff and also brought a sudden end to delays in payment of salaries. This, he noted, has brought about motivation of staff members as regards dedication to their various official duties.
Before now, we wait for allocation before salaries are paid. But when we came in, we saw in it that we don't need to wait for the allocation of a particular month to come before salaries are paid. So what we do is that we get the salary of the workers, the civil servants, out of the allocation that comes in a particular month, like April. We will not take the salary of workers for May and keep it in escrow accounts. So by on the 21st, 22nd, we would have paid the salary. By the time you give your workers incentives, by the time you bring yourself to be equal with the workers, they now own the job. They now own the job. They own the commission. They own what you're asking them to do because they become part and parcel of the work in which they are doing. But when you make them see themselves as workers, as if they are working for you. They don't own the job. There's no way their morale will be boosted for them to deliver as at when due. When we came in, we called the directors, held meetings with them, and make them believe that they are part and parcel of the executive. We are just executive. You cannot be a worker in the commission if you are not from oil producing community, oil bearing community. Therefore, what are we doing here? Any money coming, we made them know that we need to apply the money to those persons at home, those at the grassroots, whom are the beneficiary of the money that comes from the allocation. We send them for trainings, and when by the time they go for training, the archaic idea which you just mentioned now, they will now, have the new. It's a new set of new thinking, behavioral pattern. It's not changed from the old way they do things. Because of the trainings, we set them on, and we make sure that yes, if you are an accountant, you cannot call yourself an accountant when you are not chartered. They are not encouraged to go for training. Apart from going for external training, professional training, they also do in-house training.
Recall that Desopadec Weekly TV in previous episodes had reported different capacity building trainings the present board had organized for management and staff. These were all intended to make the workers to be equipped with modern knowledge of running an agency with great social responsibility. In 2019, the workers in media and public affairs units were trained in Lagos on August 12 to 14, 2019 at Sheraton, Lagos, starting with a workshop to set the groundwork for a vibrant press and public affairs unit with a view to enabling the department to cultivate and firm up relationships with the media, master the art of crisis communication, handle all forms of reputational risk associated with dealing with the public, and most important of all, building a viral image with a theme, building creative communication, a PR platform for strategic repositioning. This was followed by an in-house 3-day training tagged Enhancing Official Performance and Environmental Safety for the Department of Investment and Industrial Promotion, with staff members trained on different subject matter by different resource persons who are also staff members of the Commission.
Major skills to consider among staff and to develop, they include number one, attendance. Attendance is very key. If you are employed in a workplace and you don't attend, of course, what does it amount to? It amounts to irresponsibility, and of course, if you continue in that manner, you're probably going to lose your work.
A wise man said, if your actions inspire someone to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more, then you are a leader. There is no doubt that in any group there is bound to be conflict.
Let it not be the vision of Senator Dr. Kowa or the vision of Bashawu. It's our own vision. It's our own goal. So whatever we are doing to achieve our own set goals and vision. That is so. Yes, on our part, we agree that we will be training and retraining our people to ensure that, having agreed to key into this vision, the vision is delivered. Abi? Yes, the tools and equipment that are necessary to achieve this, we have also undertaken that we will see to that. Not so? Yes, and I express happiness that your environment, you have taken positive step to show example today by going to make it cleaner from what you have demonstrated to me. Not so? Yes,
in 2020, board members attended leadership retreats tagged Leadership Change Management at the prestigious Lagos Business School.
To give perspective on what we call national competitiveness. We'll be speaking about it in our very first session.
My hope is that it will, this program will result in a repositioned Desopadec that is more effective in delivering on its mandate. But if you want me to put it in a sort of my vision, is that Desopadec will help Delta State to become one of the leading economies in Africa.
This is what we need going forward, in line with the vision of the new board. Strategic and leadership training is key to development. What we have come here to do is just to gain knowledge and then go back to our various offices and then do the needful so that we can better Desopadec.
Yeah, we'll be able to learn how to reposition our place, financial prudence, management, and the vision, how to realize our vision, how to put our place into a lot of perspective. So, it's a whole lot of knowledge we'll be able to have. My prayer is that those knowledge we'll be able to get here so that we can impact it and make good use of it when we get to work.
This was also followed by a 3-day fire safety training organized for the security units and medical and safety service units.
I have knowledge of all of them before now, but particularly, I want to be specific, the area of risk assessment. I think I've learned something good today on risk assessment. The stages of how to carry out the risk assessment itself, by the identification of the gray areas. One, the hazard, identify the hazard. Then apart from that too, I also learned something about the stages of carrying out a risk assessment too. Before now, I never knew that we need to carry the parties as narrowing it down to my own commission, Desopadec. I never knew that we need to carry the management along in carrying out a risk assessment. But today, through this training today, I have been able to get that into my head that in carrying out a risk assessment in any project, you need the management, the input of the management. Now you don't need to do it alone, because in doing it alone as a safety officer, you're only doing it for your own self without the knowledge of the management, and the input of the management is very, very paramount and very important in carrying out a risk assessment of a particular project.
We learned about the different type of fire extinguishers, and before now I only knew of maybe one. But today we are told that there are different types of fire extinguishers, and the most appropriate one to use at a particular time. Before now, in my place where I stay, like in my kitchen, I don't have anything like fire extinguisher. But today we are told, we need to understand that it is necessary, it is mandatory for us to have fire extinguishers in our kitchens and in our houses. Then we are taught about the importance of firefighting. Then today again now we are taught again about the use of fire extinguishers and risk assessment. So putting all this together, at least will now be. I am now. I can say I'm a safety man, and I will be more safety conscious as it is with the training. Yes.
According to Honorable John Nani, have no doubt positioned the Desopadec for better performance.
My name is Basharun Askia Ogie, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Desopadec, Delta State. I'm here to inform you that coronavirus is real. The surge is here, and we need to collectively fight it so that it doesn't spread more than it is already doing in our country. We need to keep simple hygiene. Wash our hands regularly, get them dried, and sanitize our hands always. We have to refrain from being in gatherings where you have so many persons at any given time. And at any time that you must be in a gathering, please stay 3 meters away from your next person. And where you have the shortness of breath, you have dry throat, dry cough, or simple symptoms of fever, it is advisable that you go to the nearest medical facility to report and get treatment. We need you to be alive so that we can give our service to you. Thank you.
The executive director said the commission has addressed the yearnings of oil-producing communities through strategic consultation with stakeholders in project formulation and execution in line with the advice of the state governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. He said the management of project funds for the ethnic nationalities that make up the Desopadec is rancor-free because the money is released in accordance with the quantum of oil production among the oil-producing communities.
Well, for any amount of money that comes, you see, it's a commission that I told you that takes care of the fund that comes for the oil-bearing communities, and is also apportioned by quantum of production. Like the Shekiri is 29%, Ijo is 27%, Urobo 21%, Isoko 14%, while Udokwa is 9%. So any amount of money, if it's 10 that comes, we work in accordance with quantum of production on that percentage. And the jobs also to be done must be within that quantum of production. if you have 100 million, it all means 29 million goes to the shekaries. And the 29 million be applied to the shekari bearing communities. 27% of that 27 million we applied to the Ijos. 21 goes to the Urobo. So when the Urobo post, oh, we are here, we are not getting enough project. You see the mass area of Urobo. Urobo today we have 8 full local governments. We have the Urobos in Warri, we have the Urobos in Patani. Whereas the Shekri that has the highest, which is 29%, has the Shekris in Warri North, Shekri in Warri South, and Shekri in Warri Southwest. Those are, so they have more funds to apply to projects which are beneficial to their communities. That's how it is to the Jaws. The Jaws today in Delta State, any amount that comes, 27% of it goes to them. Isoko, the same thing. The Udokwa, the same thing. Now, ICA has been brought in. So what we do is, on one line, money is being allocated to the ICAs, because we need also to get the quantum of production that the oil from ICA is being producing, so that it will now be apportioned to that quantum of production. For anything that is being done in the commission is in accordance with the quantum of production. And all these executive directors, they are from each ethnic nationality.
In a related development, the Commission has taken drastic steps to ensure a healthy and safer environment for all staff members as they resume from the Delta State COVID-19 lockdown. Desopadec was shut down for 4 weeks, in line with the order of the Delta State government to stay at home, as a measure to curb community transmission of the dreaded COVID-19 global pandemic. At resumption, the Commission embarked on decontamination and fumigation of the offices against the spread of coronavirus. The cleanup, supervised by the Director of Administration, Ferdinand Ebibo, alongside the staff of the Environment Division, DEESOPADEC, started from the Warri Sapele Road headquarters to a newly acquired office space and also to the annex office, Swamp Road. The fumigation has placed the DEESOPADEC offices safe and healthy for staff against COVID-19. And that concludes our package for this week on the DEESOPADEC Weekly TV program. We hope you enjoyed our edition today. We're going to come again next week with another very interesting edition on the DEESOPADEC Weekly TV. Do join us then. But until then, you can follow us on our social media handles rolling on your television screen. On behalf of the entire crew, Joy Ochi is my name. Do stay safe. I'll see you next week.